There's a lot of information about protective styles. Some people claim that protective styling is the main reason for making their hair journey a success. And some people blame protective styles for breaking off their hair. Protective styles are great and beneficial for several reasons, but they do come with some risks that can really set you back. Before we get into it, I think it's important for me to mention the difference between a protective style and a low manipulation style. If you're looking for a style that's simple to do on your own and can be minimally maintained for a week or so, you're looking for a low manipulation style. These are styles that don't require a lot of pulling or combing to achieve and maintain. Protective styles are styles where your ends are tucked away or at least minimally exposed. So this style is a low manipulation style, and this style is a protective style. Also, protective styles can either be long-term or short-term. This style is an example of a short-term protective style, and these braids are an example of a long-term protective style. I wear my hair in short-term protective styles a lot. When I'm in a dry climate, I wear it out more often. But for the most part, after a wash day or re-moisture day, I almost always put it back up into a short-term protective style. I can't imagine having to style all this hair every day. Protective styles save me so much time and keeps me from messing with my hair too much. I definitely won't have as much hair as I have without protective styles. When you braid, twist, or tuck your hair, you create protected pockets or sections that are not as exposed to the air. Water or moisture escapes a lot slower from these protected sections. So compared to when you're wearing your hair loose, protective styles keep your hair moisturized for a longer period of time. This is especially beneficial for your ends because they tend to dry out faster. So if you're having a problem with your hair drying out too fast, try protective styling. That should buy you an extra 2 to 3 days before having to re-moisturize your hair. If done right, meaning not neglecting your hair and re-moisturizing it before it gets dry, protective styles keep your hair from breaking so much. When your hair strands are tucked away, they can't move around as much and cause friction and tangles. They sit put as your hair grows out. You also don't have as much access to your hair, so you can't mess around with it or manipulate it as much. You'll be surprised to know how much length you can retain when you leave your hair alone. Protective styles are an essential tool for length retention. They protect your precious hair strands, so what you grow is what you keep. Despite there being so many great benefits of protective styles, there's also some negatives as well. Shrinkage can be annoying, but it's natural and a sign of healthy hair. It's actually due to a genetic advancement that keeps our hair from staying wet for too long, which in turn protects us from infection and sickness. So shrinkage is our hair literally wringing out water or moisture from itself. That's kind of cool when you think about it. We love protective styles. I know I do. But they are low maintenance, not no maintenance. Even if you stretch your hair, it's still going to find a way to shrink up and dry out. The more you let this happen, the more knots and breakage you're going to experience. So something that was supposed to be a protective style can quickly turn into something that hurts your hair. The best thing to do is to stay ahead of dryness. Re-moisturize your hair before it dries out. So if your hair dries out after 4 days, re-moisturize it after 3 days. I left a link to a detailed video below on how I keep my ends healthy and avoid breakage. It breaks my whole heart when I see someone with a tight hairdo. It's like I can feel it. @KasifaN on Twitter told me that she used to believe a myth that tight hairdos help your hair grow faster, and I know she's not alone. In an effort to have the neat look, you may be tempted to install your protective style super tight or slick down your edges too much. Tension to your hair follicles, little by little, literally rip your hair strands out. It causes so much damage to your hair follicles that the new hair strands that grow out either grow out super thin and weak or doesn't grow back out at all. Basically, excessive tension causes trauma to your hair follicles and slowly makes you go bald. I avoid tension to my scalp like the plague by starting my twist an inch or so away from my scalp. I also avoid tension to my edges by leaving this whole front section out of my protective styles. If you feel any tension on your scalp, that pain you feel is your scalp saying, "Please help me." Don't ignore it and redo that section. So to recap, here's an overview of the pros and cons. Some may call it the risks and rewards of protective styles. So the cons or risks of protective styles happen when there's neglect involved. So the moral of the story is, as long as you don't neglect your hair and avoid tension, protective styles will take your hair to the next level. It saves you time and helps you achieve your hair goals faster. So it's a win-win. I've had a few moments where I let my protective style dry out and I experienced tons of knots, tangles, and breakage because of it. So I know from experience just how important moisture is to natural hair. What's been your experience with protective styles? For the most part, have they helped or hurt your progress? I'll see you in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.